As we grow older, wisdom becomes our greatest strength. But even the wisest hearts can be wounded by misplaced trust. In a world where oversharing is encouraged and boundaries are blurred, older women must protect their peace more fiercely than ever. Some truths are too sacred, too vulnerable, to be handed out freely. This isn't about secrecy. It's about self-respect, safety, and guarding the life you've worked so hard to build. Let this be your gentle reminder. Not everything needs to be shared to be understood. Let's begin with one of the most delicate truths: your financial situation. As an older woman, you've worked, saved, sacrificed, and survived. Your money tells a story of resilience, of wisdom, of navigating life's storms. But the moment you speak that story aloud, you invite interpretation, expectation, and sometimes manipulation. Whether you're doing well or just getting by, revealing too much about your finances can shift how others see you. If they think you're comfortable, suddenly you become the family bank, the one who can afford it, who hears guilt-laced requests and backhanded compliments like you wouldn't even miss that amount. If they believe you're struggling, pity creeps in. Unwanted advice, dismissal, assumptions. Some may even treat you as a burden. But here's the truth: your financial reality is your own. You don't owe anyone an explanation, not about what you have, what you give, or what you choose to keep. Your generosity should be given freely, never expected. So if someone asks about your money, smile softly. Let mystery be your shield. You've earned the right to protect your peace and your wallet without guilt or apology. Family, where love runs deep, but so can hurt. As an older woman, you carry generations of memories, stories, and scars. It's only natural to want to vent, to share the burdens of family tensions with someone who'll listen. But here's the danger: the moment your private family struggles leave your lips, they take on a life of their own. A small disagreement with a sibling becomes a headline. A difficult moment with a child becomes fuel for judgment. Even the kindest listener can pass along your words, twisted and stretched, until the truth no longer resembles what you shared. And when the dust settles, when forgiveness quietly returns and healing begins, those you confided in don't forget. They keep seeing your loved one through the lens of pain you once described. That's the cost of oversharing. Relationships strained, not by what happened, but by how widely the story spread. So protect your family's dignity as fiercely as your own. If you need to talk, choose someone entirely outside the circle, someone who will hold your trust without feeding the fire, because every family has its storms, but those storms are easier to weather when they stay under your own roof. There was a time when having a predictable routine brought comfort, a familiar rhythm that made life feel safe and steady. Neighbors waved as you walked the same path each morning. Friends knew when to call. There was beauty in the familiar. But in today's world, predictability has become vulnerability. When others know exactly when you leave home, when you sleep, or when you take your daily stroll alone, they also know when you're most exposed. It's not just strangers who take notice. Sometimes it's those closest to you, dropping by coincidentally when they need something, calling at just the right time to ask for a favor. And don't forget social media. Every heading out for the weekend fad and post is an open invitation, announcing your home is empty. Every out for my morning walk update whispers to the world, I'm alone right now. So, dear one, cherish your routines, but don't make them public. Add a little unpredictability to your day. Shift your timing. Be less visible online. Your safety is worth more than a perfectly kept schedule. In a world that watches closely, mystery can be your greatest shield. As we age, conversations about health become more common, almost expected. Doctor visits, aches and pains, medications, these topics slip so easily into everyday talk. But not everyone deserves access to the intimate details of your well-being. Sharing too much about your medical conditions can shift how others see you, not with compassion, but with control. Suddenly, your independence is questioned. Maybe you shouldn't be driving anymore. Are you sure you can handle that trip? What begins as concern can quickly become condescension. Even worse, some may whisper behind your back, painting your strength as fragility. And for those with ulterior motives, your health struggles can become a window of opportunity to influence your decisions, nudge you toward financial concessions, or even interfere with your will and estate. You don't owe the world your medical chart. If someone asks how you're doing, it's perfectly fine to smile and say, "I'm managing, thank you." Let them wonder, but never let them assume control. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your limitations. You are a woman of resilience, still standing, still living with grace. Your health is your journey, and that journey deserves dignity, privacy, and respect. In today's digital world, sharing a password can feel as casual as sharing a cup of tea. A quick favor, a harmless gesture. It's just my email. It's only my bank PIN. My daughter would never misuse it. But the truth is, even the kindest hearts can falter under pressure. And life has a way of testing trust in the most unexpected ways. That friend who's always been reliable might face financial hardship. That relative you trust implicitly might have a partner whose intentions aren't so pure. And even if your loved ones remain blameless, technology isn't always so forgiving. Phones get lost, accounts get hacked. A moment of convenience can become a lifetime of regret. Your passwords are the keys to your world, your finances, your private thoughts, your identity. Guard them as such. If you absolutely must share, do so wisely, with limits, with safeguards, and with the ability to revoke access in an instant. Because protecting your information isn't just about preventing theft, it's about preserving your independence, your privacy, and your peace of mind. You've earned the right to feel safe, and that begins with keeping the keys in your own hands. We all carry a past, chapters of joy, pain, mistakes, and moments we wish we could rewrite. As an older woman, you've lived through seasons that younger generations can't begin to understand. And while sharing your regrets might feel like a way to connect, to teach, or even to heal, not everyone will receive your story with grace. Some will latch on to your past failures and never let them go. That one poor investment, suddenly, you're seen as someone who's bad with money. A misguided choice decades ago, they'll question your judgment today. People love to define others by their worst moments. Not their growth, not their wisdom, not their resilience. And the harsh truth, once your regrets are out there, they can be retold, twisted, or used as quiet ammunition. That's why some memories are better held close to the heart. You are not your mistakes. You are the strength it took to rise beyond them. Learn from the past, grow with it, but don't let it be the lens through which others view you. Your story is sacred, and not everyone deserves to read every page. Choose your listeners carefully, or let silence speak the loudest. One of the most tender and dangerous mistakes older women make is revealing the details of their will or estate plans before the time is right. It may seem harmless, even thoughtful, to share your intentions. Perhaps you want to reassure your children or prevent future arguments. But the moment money enters the conversation, hearts can quietly shift. Those who stand to inherit may begin to treat you differently, suddenly more attentive, overly sweet, or eager to please. And if someone feels left out or slighted, that warmth can cool into resentment, jealousy, or painful silence. Family members may start competing for your favor, not your love. Even worse, if you change your mind, because life is fluid and so are our choices, those who already know your old plans may feel entitled to what's no longer promised. They may pressure you, guilt you, or question your decisions. But your legacy is not a group discussion. It is your final act of love, one that should be made freely, without interference. Keep it private, keep it protected. When the time is, let your choices speak for you with clarity and dignity. Until then, silence is not secrecy, it's sovereignty. Love leaves a mark, sometimes tender, sometimes bittersweet. As an older woman, your heart has likely known joy, heartbreak, passion, and perhaps even pain too deep for words. But when it comes to past romantic relationships, not every detail needs to be revisited or shared, because what once belonged to you can quickly become fuel for gossip, misunderstanding, or quiet judgment in the hands of others. A new companion may feel insecure hearing about a past love that still flickers in your memory. Family members might judge your choices, unable to see them through the lens of youth or circumstance. And so often, stories told in trust resurface in whispers, reshaped, embellished, and used in ways you never intended. You are more than the people you once loved. Your worth is not defined by who stayed or who left, by youthful mistakes or grand romances. You don't owe anyone a tour through the corridors of your past. If asked, smile gently and say, "I've had my chapters, but I live in the present." Let the past rest where it belongs, in your heart, not on someone else's tongue. Because some stories are sacred, and some memories deserve the quiet dignity of being left untold. Regret is a quiet companion that walks with us as we age, not to torment us, but to remind us of the roads we've traveled. And while it can feel comforting to share those moments with others, the missed chances, the wrong turns, the if-onlys, not every ear is gentle enough to hear them with grace. Some people, instead of offering understanding, will see your regrets as proof of weakness. That one financial misstep, suddenly they question your judgment. A relationship you wish you'd handled differently. Now you're labeled naive. Even those closest to you may offer unsolicited advice, speaking as if they've never made mistakes of their own. The harsh truth is that people are quick to remember what you regret and slow to honor what you've overcome. But you are not your regrets. You are the strength it took to learn from them, the courage it took to keep going. Those moments are not invitations for judgment. They're private lessons written in the ink of life experience. So protect them. Share only when it feels healing, never out of pressure, because the world doesn't need to understand every shadow of your past to respect the light you carry today. And you, dear one, deserve to be seen in for the woman you've become, not the missteps you left behind. There was a time when sharing your travel plans felt exciting, something to look forward to, something to celebrate. But in today's world, what once felt innocent can quietly compromise your safety. Announcing your next trip, especially online or in casual conversation, can turn your absence into an opportunity for burglars, opportunists, or even manipulative acquaintances. A well-meaning neighbor might spread the word. A distant relative may drop by uninvited. Or worse, someone with ill intent may take advantage of it knowing when your home will be empty. And let's not forget the guilt trips. People who suddenly need a favor, a loan, or your time just before you leave. You deserve your peace, your adventure, and your privacy. You've earned the joy of planning something just for yourself, without having to justify it or explain it. So keep your plans sacred, share them only with trusted individuals, and let the stories come after the journey has ended. Because the world doesn't need to know where you're going to celebrate where you've been. Your safety, your serenity, and your freedom should always come first. And the best journeys, they often begin in quiet. Words have power, more than we sometimes realize. As an older woman, you've seen how quickly opinions can travel, twist, and return to you in ways you never intended. Sharing how you really feel about certain people, be it frustration with a relative, disappointment in a friend, or annoyance with a neighbor, may offer momentary relief, but it often comes at a heavy cost. Once those words are spoken, you lose control over how they're repeated. Even in trusted circles, conversations can become whispers. Your honest thoughts might be misquoted, exaggerated, or delivered to the very person you least wanted to hear them. And just like that, peace is replaced by tension, and relationships are strained without warning. You've earned the right to your feelings, but you also have the wisdom to know when silence serves you better. If you must speak, choose your listener carefully, and when in doubt, hold your peace. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. And in that silence, There is dignity, grace, and protection. 3 things too precious to risk on fleeting frustration. There's something sacred about the truth we keep to ourselves, the quiet thoughts, the raw feelings, the unspoken moments that live only in our hearts, but in a world that often rewards oversharing. Many older women feel pressure to speak openly about everything, even their most private reflections. Yet one of the most dangerous things you can share is your unfiltered opinion about others. That moment of frustration with a family member, a fleeting annoyance with a friend, a harsh judgment about a neighbor. It may feel justified in the moment, but once those words leave your lips, they take on a life of their own. They travel faster than you expect, change shape, and come back to you with edges sharpened. Relationships are damaged, reputations altered, and peace of mind disrupted, not by intention, but by the power of careless honesty. You, dear one, have lived long enough to know that not every truth needs to be told. Choose your moments, choose your confidants, and sometimes choose silence. Because silence can't be twisted, it can't be repeated or misquoted. In that stillness that you hold your dignity, your wisdom, and your peace, and there's no greater strength than that. In a world that often urges us to speak freely, there is quiet power in knowing what to hold close. As an older woman, your wisdom was hard-won, shaped by experience, refined by time. Not every truth needs to be shared, and not every story belongs to someone else. By guarding your heart, your past, and your peace, you honor the life you've built. Remember this: discretion isn't secrecy, it's strength wrapped in grace, and that, dear one, is a beauty that never fades.